Papa.
Across immigrant communities in Minnesota, families are being torn apart.
The terror is real. They are taking children.
As immigration and customs enforcement agents sweep across the state, tens of thousands of families have been forced into hiding.
Ya estoy aquí afuera.
No hemos podido salir porque yo soy la única que se quedó a cargo de los niños.
Children are living with fear no child should have to carry.
A panic in my chest, and I couldn't breathe a little. That made me a little sad.
Like, as a community, why are we going through this, you know? It's not fair.
And for some,
Yeah, Papi.
the American dream they risked everything for is slipping away. In early December 2025, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, launched Operation Metro Surge across Minneapolis and St. Paul. As I arrived 2 months later, we're told most of the federal agents are finally leaving, but I've come to see what this crackdown has left behind, especially for children. This should be good news for many people, but many of those people are still locked down. They're essentially living like they did during COVID. And that's bad enough if you're an adult, but there are kids that are not going to school. There are kids that are being deprived of their childhood right now. Newly released data shows that more than 80% of those arrested during Operation Metro Surge were from Latin American countries.
Hello. How are you?
Ana Gaia Castilla is a mother of two from Colombia. She says if her family leaves the house, she fears they could all be detained and sent hundreds of miles away.
If they take us with our children, they can send all of us to a detention center in Texas or Nebraska with our children. We can be detained for months, for weeks, we don't know.
6 years ago, Gaia and her family fled Colombia after a drug cartel gave her an ultimatum: leave and live, or stay and be killed.
We came here with a tourist visa and we applied for asylum.
Why did you have to apply for asylum in the first place?
We got threatened. My daughter, she was 2. We had 24 hours to live. So you leave everything behind. Life is more important. And then you just have to look for a better future, right?
Gaia and her husband are allowed to stay in the United States while their asylum claim is being decided, and they have documents allowing them to work. But the Trump administration argues that even refugees here lawfully can still be detained.
What do you do for work?
I work in a company that we fix chimneys, but because it was an outside job, it was too risky to be outside. My boss understands that I have to stop. This is like the American nightmare.
For their 8-year-old daughter Tulasi, even birthdays have been changed by all this.
What did you get for your birthday?
It was kind of like a short party because
Oh, yeah?
of the ICE situation.
What's the ICE situation?
About how the ICE took some children and parents. We couldn't go outside because we were too scared.
Tulasi still goes to school in the suburbs, but even there, she's finding it hard to cope.
Why did you have a panic?
Because ICE could take off my mom and my dad, and that made me feel pretty sad because I didn't want them to go.
But you were just worrying about this while you were sitting at school.
They know I'm scared of the situation of the ICE. I was pretty scared too. It was like a panic in my chest, and I couldn't breathe a little. That made me a little sad.
You're very brave.
Yes, she is very, very brave.
And I know that our family is going to be safe forever. Nothing dangerous is going to happen, and that we're going to be safe.
Oh, this is great. They look pretty good.
They are good.
That little girl's testimony was exceptionally eloquent, all beyond her years, profound, and also very, very upsetting. The biggest thing that worries her day in, day out, and has given her panic attacks, is the fact that when she gets home, one or other of her parents might not be there because they might have been arrested by ICE.
Anyone to include the press trespassing on federal property is subject to arrest.
Operation Metro Surge began in December 2025. The Department of Homeland Security said it was targeting violent offenders across Minneapolis, but critics say many of those caught up were not. By February, 4,000 people had been arrested across the state.
ICE out! ICE out!
Protesters took to the streets, then 2 US citizens, Rene Good and Alex Pretty, were killed by law enforcement. But being here now, I'm finding that some of the impact is much less visible. Many immigrant families are still too scared to leave home, worried that even a drive to school, work, or the grocery store could end in detention. For some communities like Gaia's, that fear is now part of daily life.
The terror is real, and this is every single day for our families, for our staff.
Gaia still goes out to do her work at Centro Tyrone Guzman, the oldest Latin community hub in Minnesota.
They're not even coming here because it's not worth it. They can be kidnapped and taken away, so the risk is not worth it.
And that is probably like what's going on. Like they know that our community thrives of being community.
Yeah.
And right now they has created isolation.
Xavier Vasquez runs Centro. He is a US citizen, but he says that no longer feels like protection.
It doesn't matter at this point. They have deported citizens, residents.
Centro is home to the only Spanish-language Montessori preschool in Minnesota.
So here we're actually entering the school.
Can't help but notice there's not very many kids here right now.
No,
There's
none.
not even a kid, no one.
So this is the environment.
Oh, wow, it's lovely.
But it has been closed for nearly 3 months. When it reopens, staff don't know how many children will come back.
It's fear because families are too afraid to risk to come to school. They're not even going to work.
Fear was caused by racism, was caused by targeting us. It was caused by
Racial profiling, that's the truth.
Federal officials deny their officers use racial profiling, saying stops are based on reasonable suspicion. But many Latin parents have been too scared to send their children to school, with some reporting attendance rates below 50%.
They are targeting us. They are taking hardworking people that came here looking for opportunities to give a better future to their families, just like we did. They are targeting children. They are taking children. That is scary and that is devastating. That's not what we came here for.
The Department of Homeland Security denies that ICE targets schools or children. But in the first 9 months of President Trump's second term, more than 3,800 children were booked into detention. By early February, Immigration and Customs Enforcement was holding almost 70,000 people in detention. Around 3/4 had no criminal conviction on record.
It is very hard to believe, that we're in America.
Xavier is taking me to meet one of Centro's students, Helen, and her mother, Martha. Tomorrow they will self-deport to Ecuador to hopefully reunite with Helen's father, who is in detention and facing deportation.
The father was taken a little bit over 2 months ago, and then after that, they were evicted from their apartment, and one of our staff members received them in their house, and then the dad is going to be deported now.
Since moving in with one of Centro's staff, even a car pulling up outside can feel like a threat.
Hello?
Hola, Nadia.
Hola, Xavier.
Yeah, just so you know, we're here outside, so you don't get scared. That's us.
Okay.
Buenas noches.
Inside, I meet Martha. She has been sheltering here for 4 weeks with 5-year-old Helen.
Have you left the house much?
No hemos podido salir porque yo soy la única que se quedó a cargo de los niños y si me pasaba algo a mí, ¿qué iba a pasar de ellos? Entonces era el temor de salir, entonces hemos permanecido encerrados.
2 years ago, the family fled Ecuador after violence spread through their neighborhood. They flew to El Salvador, then walked north to Texas in search of a safer future. But with Helen's father now being held in detention more than 500 miles away, Martha has decided she must return.
Cuando nosotros dejamos nuestro país fue porque en nuestro país la delincuencia está muy terrible. Entonces veníamos acá para poder encontrar un futuro mejor, o sea, Pero cuando mi esposo fue detenido, y mi esposo lo decía desde la cárcel, decía que jamás pensó ser tratado así como un delincuente. Es el padre de mis hijos, es mi esposo y tenemos que unir otra vez en la familia.
Are you looking forward to seeing your dad? Yeah.
Martha is weighing an impossible choice for Helen. Stay in the United States without her father or return to the violence they once fled so the family can be together again.
For some families, once you're wrapped up in this system, there's no easy choices. It's just picking the least worst option, and they're picking the least worst option for them. And they've got no idea how it's going to work out.
For many families, even getting food has become a problem.
This is where the magic starts.
I've come to Manor Market, where Moises and a huge team of volunteers are packing groceries for community groups across Minnesota to deliver to families staying indoors.
Every day looks like this. In the morning, by the end of the day, this is empty. That's clean and ready for the next day.
They are now helping almost 6,500 sheltering families a week.
4 months ago, how many families were you helping?
4 months ago, it was around 2,500 every week.
So you've more than doubled.
More than double.
Do you see a time anytime soon when demand for your services goes down?
Our operation is never going down. It's going up, and we never say no to the necessity.
Back at Centro, Sandra and her eldest daughter Elsa are volunteering 6 days a week, helping distribute supplies from Manor Market to families in need.
It's really hard to see my community going through this.
But what they are seeing is affecting them deeply.
It's hurting a lot of people and families, and it just feels disappointing because it feels like families are falling apart.
Are there children who are missing from your school?
Yeah, some people are homeschooling because of what's happening, and they're scared to go out.
Are you not scared of being stopped or targeted by ICE?
I am afraid. But my need to be there for my community is bigger than my rights. Yes.
And are you a US citizen?
Yes. Thank God I am a US citizen, but I think at this moment, it doesn't matter. The color of my skin speaks louder than my citizenship.
Most federal agents are said to have left the city, but few people here believe the danger has passed. Food drop-offs still have to be carefully timed, with families too frightened to step outside.
Once everything's by the door, then she'll open the door for us, and then we'll put things in as fast as we can so that that door is closed as soon as possible. I'm gonna take this one and the diapers, and I think we should be good.
Okay.
Centro say that ICE agents have previously stopped volunteers while out on delivery. Sandra is nervous, but tonight the coast is clear.
Ya estoy aquí afuera. Todo va a ser súper rápido.
The family hiding in this basement haven't left it for 2 months since the father was arrested by ICE after picking up their children from kindergarten. He's now being held in Iowa, around 250 miles away.
Does your husband have legal status here?
Que teníamos permiso de trabajo y social security y un caso de asilo activo toda la familia.
Their 3 children were in the car when he was snatched and watched him being taken away.
What impact is it having on you and your kids?
Entonces pienso que y la forma también como él fue llevado, cruelmente castigado, porque se resistió a que se lleven porque él estaba con los niños.
Is that your daughter? Does she know where her dad is?
Sí, porque ella estaba ese día y estaba gritando que no se lo lleven. Y se llevaron a tu papá en medio de que ella estaba diciendo que no se lo lleven. Y así ella vivió todo.
Y dice que si le puedes mandar un mensaje a tu papá.
¡Mamá!
Ven.
¡Ay, mira, papá! está enojada, así como ahorita, sí, porque dice, extraño a mi papá, porque nadie comprende, porque no entienden porque no vuelve. Que me van a sacar.
Sandra has seen many families go through this. It's taking a toll on her too.
You okay?
I'm okay, yes. My heart needs to be out here. I am fearful to be out here, but they need me.
Yeah.
Yes,
You really do.
they do.
The level of desperation is almost beyond comprehension. And it's heartbreaking because they're talking about what their children are experiencing. Their parents that feel like they are unable to protect their children, which is well, it's all parents are meant to do.
¿Están emocionados? ¿Sí?
Xavier is gathering children together to throw a goodbye party for Helen, who's self-deporting with her mother Martha tomorrow.
¿Y en la fiesta de quién?
En la fiesta de Helen.
Other families have trusted him to collect their children and take them to school. He keeps a copy of his US passport with him at all times, but even this short school run now feels exposed.
Why are we having to pick up these other kids?
They're not able to get out. Like their families are not able to get out safely because they become targets as soon as they get out.
For Xavier, this feels like a covert operation, but for the children, it's just a chance to finally see their friends again.
Vamos en camino a la escuela.
¿No?
¿Y luego en la nieve?
¡Vamos!
¡Ay! ¡Listo! ¡Ay, no está saliendo más! ¡Ay, no, mi pierna!
Hola, 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 muñeca, adelante.
It's the first time these children have been back to school for nearly 3 months, but the outside world is hard to shut out.
Yo no vi nadie comida aquí.
¿Qué edad tiene Sebastián? 4. He's 4 years old.
¿Tú sabes por qué estamos aquí?
Mamá, le pide Helen.
Porque nos vamos a despedir de Helen, exactamente. Y nos vamos a despedir de ella porque se va a un país que se llama
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Helen is one of at least 8 children from the preschool who will not be returning. What that means for the children left behind is uncertain.
It's not normal for 4 or 5-year-olds to talk about immigration officers. It's not normal for them to be saying goodbye to their friend who is self-deporting to a country that she has no memory of at such a young formative age. We have no idea what profound impact that will have long term.
Some of the damage is only just beginning to show. Dr. PJ Stryker is a child and adolescent psychiatrist at Children's Minnesota Hospital. She's worried about the long-term effect this is having on children's mental health.
So with younger kids, we're seeing a lot of things like not sleeping as well. They feel more worried. And then a lot of acting out kind of behaviors, right? Like irritability, tantrums, because they really are struggling to express the tension that they're feeling, even if they don't know what that is. We were definitely seeing kids who are afraid their families are going to not be there when they get home. And that's manifesting as severe depression.
And it's not just their mental health. Doctors at this hospital have reported no-show rates of up to 50% for children with some of the most serious physical conditions.
They're not turning up for appointments across the board, right? Because they're not sure what's going to happen. And that could be anything from, asthma to cancer treatments.
People are not turning up for cancer appointments.
It's incredibly concerning because then when we see people that are showing up, actually we're having more admissions to the hospital because people are just coming in sicker states.
If the ice surge actually ended tomorrow, does the problem end just then?
I wish that was so simple. It's going to take a long time for them to fully heal, but they will always have that sense of what happened inside them.
For some families, the damage will last long after the surge. Today, Helen and Martha are returning to Ecuador, joining over 600,000 others who have self-deported since October 2025.
How are you feeling about this?
I don't know, the situation has me with a lot of mixed feelings, you know, knowing that I might see Helen for the last time.
I'm meeting Xavier one last time as he drives them to the airport.
Just the last one, Paul?
I think this might be one more.
Tú tienes tus documentos y todo, ¿verdad?
Mi pasaporte. Así se van a extrañar.
Now, they must say goodbye to the family that took them in and cared for them as their own.
Y no llore porque no va a haber lágrimas. No llore.
Muchas gracias por lo que hizo. Ningún familiar lo hubiera hecho mejor que usted. Muchas gracias.
Bye, Helen.
As Helen says goodbye to the life she has known here, Martha reflects on the trauma the family has gone through.
He llorado mucho en Dios, porque para venir acá nos costó casi nuestras vidas, la vida de mis hijos y nuestras vidas. Y tomar la decisión de regresar fue algo, no que nosotros decidimos, sino algo que nos forzaron a hacerlo, por lo que a mi esposo fue deportado.
As he drives Martha and Helen to the airport, Xavier is overwhelmed. He's not just losing a child he loves from his school, he's left wondering who will be next.
With everything that has been going on for the last 3 months, like, are any of us safe? Are we going to be safe? Like, as a community, why are we going through this, you know? It's not fair. And we're the ones that have to pay the consequences.
In the airport car park, Helen's father calls from the detention center where he's still being held.
Sí, ya estamos llegando al aeropuerto. No te han dicho nada si vas a salir hoy, mañana.
¿Todo bien?
Sí, todo. Ya te amo, mi amor. Chao.
Chao, papi.
Hello.
Chao, mi amor.
They are going back to Ecuador in the hope of being reunited as a family. But for now, Helen's father remains behind bars.
Very best of luck. Good luck. Bye, Helen.
Bye.
For Martha and Helen, like so many other families, the American dream they risked their lives for is over. Across Minnesota, children are still living in fear, and nobody has any idea just how long, if ever, it will take them to get over this.